Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Real Conversation, where we talk about love, dating, and everything in between. I'm Nicole Jones,
And I'm Quanah Terry.
and we would like to thank you guys for joining us here tonight. So I just want to ask my co-host, how was your Thanksgiving? I know, we did a recording on that day, but how was everything? Like, did you eat a lot? Like, did everybody, who you plan on seeing that day come? Like, what happened?
Thanksgiving was really amazing for me. Surrounded by so much love, friends, family, played a couple of card games. No one got upset. Uh, so it was really fun. I had a great time. Like I told you before, like Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday because there's no pressure for gifts and things of that. Just like that, just pure good family, friends, and fun. So I love it. How
Absolutely.
was your Thanksgiving?
My Thanksgiving was good, actually. I cooked, but we also went and girl, the crazy thing is, I can't even drive home.
Why?
I got tired. Like, my son had to drive. First of all, where we drove, I didn't even know it was going to take us like an hour. Okay. So I drove out there and the traffic wasn't as bad, but it was just the distance. Everything is far out here. You know, I'm a city girl, so it's not that far, but out here, everything is so far. And I was just like, by the time I ate here, by the time I ate, over there, I was done. And I had to work the next day.
Yeah, I know. I hated that. I had to work the next day as well, but it wasn't bad at work, so I was happy about that. But yeah, I thought you were gonna say like you had a little bit too much to drink. That's why you
So
that's
I
why you
didn't
were
drink. I
tired.
didn't drink only because I thought my kids were going to drink and I'm the designated driver.
Okay.
Me, the food hit me. It was so good. It was about to knock me out.
Yeah, that's the itis. The itis set in for you. Well, I'm just happy that you enjoyed yourself and that, of course, y'all made it home.
Yes.
And but yeah, so hopefully everyone else out there in Real Conversation Family Land had a wonderful Thanksgiving if you celebrate the holiday. If not, it was just a day off for you and you kind of just relax. And that's it. But all right, Nicole, let's get this show started.
Yes, man.
What's going on?
All right. So first and foremost, I know those of us who went to college, we have this thing called student loans, right? So I'm hearing that now, what's it called? Navient. I think I said that right. And Mohila, um, they have it where they're banned from serving federal student loans, and they have to pay back 120 million settlement. So the crazy thing is 100 million is the settlement, right? The 20 million is the fine.
Damn, what happened? What's going on?
So they basically was charging people, um charging the people, the people who had loans with them. They was charging them more. They were sent, I believe that they were probably like making it seem like, let's say if it transferred from another place, they wasn't calculating everything correctly, adding more money onto it. That's illegal. You can't do stuff like that. And I'm sure a lot of us was affected by it. So I'm really looking forward to my student loans getting dropped. How about you?
I don't know if there. I mean, hopefully there's some sort of either decrease or they do get dropped altogether, right?
Listen,
That would be an amazing thing. But
I want
it
the first one.
also, but I don't know how that will affect the economy. I don't know, but either way, I don't think that Mohila or Navient actually service all of the loans. I don't know, but I guess we'll know what's to come on there. I mean, I think they'd have to do an extensive audit to
Agreed.
determine how much was overpaid. They'd have to go back to who the loans were transferred from and things of that nature. So I think that this is going to take some time. But I did see online that there are some people who have gotten their student loans dismissed or forgiven. So I don't know,
Yeah.
Nicole. I'm hoping that you're in that, in
Listen,
that
I hope
batch
so.
as well.
Because they said by then they can't do anything by the end of this year. It has to be stopped. They can't.
Wow.
Yeah, they can't. Yeah, basically. So I'm
Wow.
hoping. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. That would be amazing.
Agreed.
Well, oh Lord, I cannot believe that. But you know what? It's when they think that they're doing, when they think that they're being slick, it all comes out. They forget that audits happen, things change, and I think that people change services and it may take some time
Hmm.
for it to come out, but it's just going to come out. And noticing the $120 million, like $20 million are the fines. That
Yeah.
means that they were really doing something unethical, and
Yeah.
they found that information. So dang. Oh gosh. Well, we'll see what happens with that. Oh my gosh. One other thing I was talking about, speaking of like federal government, and also, this will have something to do with the Trump administration. You remember when he imposed those tariffs on imported goods? For I read in the paper that, or in the paper online, child, you know what that I'm talking about, that Costco is suing the Trump
Oh
administration
wow.
for the tariffs that were actually paid. Now, from what I understand, if I'm looking at it right, because I wrote it down, they actually pleaded to the Court of International Trade to deem the tariffs unlawful.
Mm.
Yeah, right. So he actually imposed the tariffs under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. Sorry, the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. That's who he actually went through to actually impose the tariffs. However, it's not certain whether or not that's something that he could do.
Okay.
So it's currently right now in the courts trying to figure out whether or not he could have actually imposed tariffs, like him, as far as the president. They're in talks about whether or not he could do so. But while they're in talks about it, they're saying, "Hey, listen, we're still going to keep the tariffs there until we figure it out." Now, right now, they have collected almost, I'm going to say, a little bit more than $150 billion in tariffs. So-
Hold up. What?
hold on. And I could be wrong on that. Maybe it's a little bit over 150 million in tariffs. Okay. So listen, this is not fake news. Those numbers may be wrong, but this is not fake news. I promise y'all. So they ended up. So basically, Costco is seeking a full refund on all tariffs, mainly because most of Costco's stuff is imported,
Right.
right? So they've imposed higher prices on some things, but not like fresh fruits and vegetables and things of that nature. They've taken a hit with that because they didn't want to pass those expenses down to the members.
Right.
But Costco is not the only company that is actually filing similar claims. There's Revlon filing claims. What is that, Nicole? And you would know this because you worked for a eyeglass place before.
Lens
It's
crafters.
Essilor Luxottica. So yeah, I remember you were talking about that a while ago. I remember that. So
Oh wow.
when I saw that, I was like, "Oh, Nicole knows some stuff about that." So XLR Luxottica, glasses maker, frames or
Yeah.
whatever. Bumblebee, the company that makes the tuna. Kawasaki has also entered a similar suit, as
Okay.
well as Yokohama Tires. And I understand Yokohama Tires because I believe their main place where they're sold is Walmart. So they're already
All
cheap,
right.
right? So now they
Yeah.
have to, with these tariffs that were imposed, they have to increase prices on them, which causes, of course, them to not have the amount of sales that they would have normally had, right?
Right.
So those are some similar companies that have filed similar claims. So we'll see what happens. A lot of these things, that Trump has put into place are technically have not one have never been seen. No other president has actually done that. But they may think that, they're thinking like this is not something that can be done. So all of these companies are requesting full refunds of the tariffs that were imposed. So we'll see what happens, girl.
So so crazy because I just seen a post that said Trump is talking about getting rid of taxes altogether for the people because of how much money he's incurring from the tariffs.
And that, listen, and that may be right the end result. Maybe that's what he really wanted. I'm unsure, but while it's a good strategy, I
It's
mean,
the
I
way
feel
he
like
implemented it.
it's the way it was done, right?
Yeah.
So, because everything, if he would have maybe revealed the plan a little bit more in depth, maybe people wouldn't be, or businesses would not have been upset, because all of that, when someone has more taxes in their paycheck, they're going to spend more, right?
Yeah.
So that's essentially helping you with your bottom line, where you're not consistently in the red as a merchant. But we'll see what happens. So that is it on that topic.
All right.
But isn't that crazy though? Like, he just keeps doing things that, I mean, it may benefit us in the future, but child, we don't see it. We trying to figure it out, right? Like, what?
Listen, he's doing what he's doing, and you already know how I feel. The things that he's doing, and everybody else got to get the okay by Congress, but he's just saying, "I don't need Congress. I don't need you. I don't need you. It's just what I say, and that's it."
That's it. He do whatever. I listen. You gotta admit, like, he's so ballsy, and I just watch him. I'm like, this man is wild. But we'll see what happens. So what's our next topic, Nicole? Hello?
I'm here.
I
I'm
said so. What's
sorry.
I said so. What's our next topic, Nicole?
Oh, I'm so sorry. So basically, it's sad to say that Candy Burris and her husband Todd is getting a divorce, and it's come across my table, my screen, that this man, her mom has basically brought it up, talk about he's all about Candy's money, yada yada yada. It's been like so much going on. Even her daughter said it. So I think it's coming to the point where that's exactly what it's about. It's about Candy's money. And being that now she doesn't want to be, entangled with him anymore, he's coming after Candy's money. Let's go to the clip real quick. Because she has a what's that thing called? A prenup. And he's trying to contest the prenup and talk about he want custody of their two young kids. Let's go to that.
Like full custody?
He wants custody. Yeah, he feels that Candy is basically always on the road working, and the kids are living with him in Georgia now. So, he just wants full custody.
Yeah.
Well, I think that the reason why he wants the full custody is to get the money, that will come with having the kids in his home.
Yeah, that sucks. All right. It was pretty low.
Oh, sorry guys.
But what? Okay, tell me what's going on in this video.
So in this video, it's basically right before they was getting married, and her team is coming over to get him to sign the prenup and making sure he understands before he signs the prenup. So they're reading it out. The part that this says, I didn't do the full video, guys. It was just showing you that he was aware about what was going on, even though he said uh he thinks that it's not that. I'm sorry, guys, the prenup is not going to be used because his legal team wasn't there. It was just her legal team. I'm sorry for the back. Me
No, it's
trying to remember
okay.
what it was saying.
So, okay, but this was obviously it looks like because it says something hours to the wedding. So it sounds like this was all televised, right? That's what it looks like to me. It was all televised.
Yep.
And he had the opportunity to say, you know what, I don't want to sign this without my lawyers looking this over. So he had that opportunity, but he did not do that. Apparently he signed it, so now he's trying to backtrack on it, saying that maybe it sounds like it's like, I'm signing this under duress, they forced me to do this, almost like that.
So the crazy thing is, that's exactly what he's saying. But in the video, he states, I'm not marrying Candy for him. I'm not marrying Candy's money. I'm marrying her. So that's not the case though, because now he's just trying to get money out of her.
So basically, the prenup is there, so he knew that he did not stand to receive anything from her fortune. So now it's like, okay, I want full custody of the children, and that would put me in a position to get child support from her, which of course is going to be like an astronomical amount, right? Because
Yep.
if he is taking care of both children, that means he's the primary parent and he makes less.
There you go. And
Wow.
it's, yeah, basically that's in a
Wow.
nutshell. That's basically what it is. But I remember a few months ago seeing her daughter go off about him. So them getting divorced, I think this has been happening. It's been coming up to this for a while now, because there's been a lot of stuff coming. A lot of speculate. Oh my goodness. Apparently today I can't say certain words because earlier
Speculation.
Quan and I were talking and she was laughing at me, okay? And I'm like, listen, you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you mean. We know. We know.
So yeah, so his daughter was like, I mean, her daughter, her oldest child,
Right.
was going off about it. And I've never seen her oldest daughter get irate in the public on social media at all. She's very reformed. She just doesn't do anything like that. So I knew something had to been going on at the time. But Candy just basically made it seem like everything was fine, yada yada yada. You know, keeping her stuff private as you should, okay?
Yes.
And that's your business. But this man, he needs to just get it together, because I don't understand. Like, listen, if you didn't do anything wrong, I don't know what her prenup says, but I'm sure whatever it says, the reason why he's trying to get it thrown out is because whatever it states inside that prenup, he ain't gonna get nothing.
Listen, I mean, and that's what the prenup is for. They've been married, from what I understand, 11 years. So there's
Yeah,
things that she has obtained. I don't know what he's obtained during the time they were married, but they're also, I don't know what their marital assets are, but I do
nothing.
know her premarital assets, are pretty extensive, so it's like, I understand why she's protecting it, but things that there's money that she is making during the marriage that he may have, that he may be able to gain. I don't know. I don't know what
Yeah,
the
I don't know.
particulars of that agreement are. However, it's sad that they're going through this. It's sad that, of course, everything is on display for all to see, including their children who are involved in this. Who,
Hmm.
and I don't know if he's thinking like this, but at some point, if it gets to a point where she says, "Okay, he's not going to take my children, and he's not. I do not want him to have full custody," they may bring the children into the battle, right? And they may take their their statements into consideration as to who they would rather live with. And this will
Right.
cause a huge strain on relationships within the family. Now I know they're amicable now, but child, this could potentially get really messy. That's what I
Yeah,
see.
for sure. And from my understanding, she's a very good mom. So he even gave her, her flowers in regards to that. He said she's a great mom.
Yeah.
So if she's a great mom, why are you trying to take her children, sir?
Well, I figure, and of course, this is all speculation. If he's asking for full custody because she's always out on the road, I'm going to assume that he's always there doing the day to day.
Supposedly.
Yeah, doing all of
I
the
remember
day
there
to
was a
day.
time when he used to be with her too.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I mean, at this point, because she is on tour, so it's coming on the heels of that. She's doing all of these different
mhm,
things. So she has press junkets and things that she needs to be out of the home for. He's
mhm.
using that to his advantage. Oof, just bitter. Just bitter.
I would just say, I mean, give them joint custody. Like, if it's not broke, don't. If it's, if nothing's broken, don't try to sit up there and fix something that's not broken. Like, if you got the kids while she's away and she's already okay with you doing that, why are you sitting up there trying to do anything other than what's already been working?
Right. And if the kids were to ever need something, I'm pretty sure that she would be able to provide for them while they're in your care, you know? But I think it's just I don't know. There's so many things that I could say about the situation, but I'm not, because I'm just hoping that they come to an amicable agreement when it comes to the children, and it's for the best. It's the best for everyone, not just her and him,
Yeah,
but the best for the children. So we'll see what happens.
agreed.
You know, that kind of sucks though. Like custody battles. First, divorce proceedings are horrible, especially when they're this public. But
Hmm.
then you add in custody battles. That's a lot, yo. That's a lot, a whole lot. So, uh,
I mean, if he wants to, go against the prenup, I mean, you can do that. I mean, I don't think that he's going to get anywhere with that because that's ironclad. You signed it. It's your signature, and you did it on national television. So I don't think that they're gonna stop that. But
I mean, I don't know. All's fair in love and war, because that prenup may be ironclad, but there are other things he can utilize to kind of hit her pockets. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I.e., the children. Oh God,
I mean, I
horrible.
think that's the reason why he's asking for custody of the children because um I remember some months ago that it came out that he was cheating and all kinds of stuff. So if that's what I'm saying, if stuff like that is in the prenup, that could be the reason why he's sitting up there trying to get it thrown out.
Yeah, could
It's
be.
gonna make it seem like he's just this dude that's been all behind his wife, like you know, cheering her on, and now she want a divorce.
Yeah, I mean, well, if there's some infidelity, that could be a reason why, like you said, not if infidelity is mentioned in the prenup, like that's where assets were like, no, that's like you will get nothing. Then the next avenue to go down is the kids,
Yeah,
because you stand to lose in that situation, especially if there was a cheating scandal and it was public and she has proof. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So the ball is in her court. That she has all he has really all the odds stacked against him in that case. But if he uses the children as him being the primary caretaker while she's away, which is often, just so many things he could utilize there. But we'll see what happens, man. That's crazy. Well, I thought they would last, but I guess not.
I mean, if it's too many scandals, like too many allegations out there, her having to fight. She used to stand up and speak up for him though, like when her mom, because it's all about the respect. Like I don't like the way they went about like trying to like broadcast it or whatever. Because at the end of the day, that is her husband.
Right.
You know, you should do it in public. I mean, in private. Speak to her if you want her to know. If she doesn't know, But other than that, her mom going after him the way she did.
Oh,
It looked very
yeah.
distasteful. It was very distasteful.
Yeah, I remember early episodes of Real Housewives of Atlanta. And her mom, I didn't like the way she handled it. She was but she was a concerned mom, in regards to her daughter's, money and, things that she worked
Yeah,
hard for. But she's like, who is this man? He coming in here with nothing, I get
right.
that. Again, I didn't like the way she went about it, but at the same time, Candy decided to marry this man, and now she has to handle it the way that she needs to handle it, going
Right.
forward. So, all right, well, we'll see what happens with that one. I'm sure we're gonna get more updates on Candy and Todd as the months roll around, because I think this is gonna be lengthy, right?
I believe so.
Yeah,
I think, yeah, he's going to contest it.
yeah, for sure.
So yeah.
Damn shame. All right,
Hmm.
well, hopefully Todd and Candy can get it together, because had their faces plastered all over the news, and it's probably hard for her children as well, for their children. So we'll see
Yes.
what happens with that. But going to the next topic, the topic of the evening, is no is a complete sentence. Okay, and we always talk about us having conversations with people that don't respect our boundaries, and then when we kind of pull away, we end up becoming the villain in their story, right? But it's
Yes.
okay for us to, or for you to pull away. It's okay for you to put up boundaries and protect your peace, especially when you're in a space where there's drama, chaos, confusion. You know what I'm saying? It's so okay to do that. So when you say no to someone, even when someone asks you out, right? You're like, you know what? They're like, hey, do you want to come with me? You're like, no, but why? Because I said no, right? Like
Or
I
they want
notice
to call
people
you
get
out your name.
look, I notice people get so upset when they hear the word no, as if they're entitled to you, right? As if
Right.
as if they're entitled to be in your space at all times. It's just a weird dynamic. I don't understand. Nicole, what do you think?
Listen, I said what I said.
Oh, okay.
Okay. You know, the moment I say no, that just is what it is. I I don't care about anything else. It just is what it is. If you want to come at me with whatever it is that you want to come at me with, it's coming in on deaf ears. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't get nothing. Okay, you know how people be saying partitions? They coming down. I hear nothing. I said what I said.
Right. And you know what? And that should be okay. Like, so I was just like, no, that is a complete sentence.
That's it.
Hands down. You know, and that whole movement with the Me Too and stuff like that. So we can go on a different journey here. Going into like the Me Too movement, when people would say no, women would say no, and even men, because we're not just going to put women in this. Even men saying no to advances by the opposite sex, or sometimes the same sex. Right?
Hmm.
How boundaries are crossed when even though that person has said no. We see it so much now, right? We see a lot of sexual abuse, a lot of domestic abuse, simply because people decided to pull away, or just go a different way. Leave a relationship that may not be suitable for them, or even healthy for them. you know
Yeah, I mean, listen. Oh my goodness. There's just so many people that don't understand that no is a complete sentence. There's a lot of people that don't understand that. And like you said, it's not just women, there's men. It's not just men, it's women as well. They want to be combative with you because you said no to them or whatever the case may be. We just gotta, learn how to set these boundaries, these healthy boundaries, and make sure under people that's in our lives, they understand when we say no, that's just what it is, and that's it. Don't come back with, the ones and the twos. It just is what it is, And this is across the board. It's in relationships. It's with your kids. It's with your parents. It's just across the board because people don't they don't pay attention to people's boundaries. They try to cross them all the time, and you're the only person who can set that, and just be what it is.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. And those who can't accept your boundaries that you've put into place, maybe those people may not, if after talking to them and they still can accept the boundaries that you've, or even respect the boundaries that you put in place, maybe those people should not be a part of your life at this time, because if this is for you mentally, health, mental health is important, and sometimes you just need to take a beat from people, things, places, stuff, and
Hmm.
if those things and people don't really align with you, then you have to move on.
That part.
It's crazy. I saw and I think we talked about this. There was a young lady whose boyfriend shot her 10
Ooh.
times. 10 times. It was an ex-boyfriend, I'm sorry. Unwilling to accept the fact that she did not want to be with him any longer. He set up a call to her. He said he placed a call to her with the premise that, hey, I just want to talk. And from what I understand, when she went to go meet him, he literally just stepped back and just started busting shots. Like, shot her 10 times, placed her in a car, and rode around with her while she bled out. That's an extreme case there, right? That's
Yeah.
an extreme case of somebody not being able to accept your boundaries and accept rejection.
It's so crazy that you said this, right? Because I just seen a video on TikTok, similar situation but opposite. Okay, so the young man, these are college students. A young man broke up with his girlfriend. She came into the dorm. She said she was a student. They let her in, and she was just banging on his door. Yo, they had to call the cops, and I felt so bad because they arrested this young lady. Clearly it was like some form of mental something that was going down. She couldn't believe that they broke up. I don't know the backstory because it doesn't say. It was just two videos. I just hate the fact that the cops had to cuff her because now this one little mistake that she made, trying to probably find some clarity about what just took place, not accepting she's trying to cross his boundaries. He never opened the doors. Okay, he never opened the door.
I'm
But
glad he did not.
right, but she was screaming, causing all kinds of disruptions. The cops took her in, and the female cop kept telling her, "Yo, stop, stop!" Like, she's telling her like calm herself down, but she's cussing, doing all this. She's being irate. Only God knows what would have happened had he opened that door. What could have took place had he opened that door?
Yeah.
Because she ended up behind, in the back of the car. There was all these cops there, and I'm just like, you just messed up your college career from one little mistake, sweetheart. Like, but that's a
You know,
prime example.
yeah.
These are kids. This did the gentleman that shot his ex 10 times was an adult.
Yeah. You know
We
what?
gotta
And
nip it in
and
the bud.
to put into perspective, it's like, this young lady that went to her boyfriend's dorm, or her ex-boyfriend's dorm, and caused a scene. Now she knows what will happen if, you know now she knows what she stands to lose, and what's gonna happen if she does it again. This wasn't as serious as the other one, but I could imagine if somebody else had reported this gentleman, before, the one that shot the lady, and said, maybe in his
Hmm.
younger years, maybe somebody, you know, reported, or he had a history of abuse. You just
Yeah.
never know. And no one ever reported it, and now he's
Right.
out here roaming the streets looking for someone else to devour. You know what I'm saying?
But let me ask you this question. So the young lady who was shot, did she ever make any complaints about this man previously before this
I didn't.
happened?
I did not see in the reports that she ever made any like reports about him. I guess she figured, hey, listen, he's just talking, he's not going to do anything. And maybe that wasn't even his MO when they were together. I'm unsure. But I do know here's another case. Thank God this young lady survived and she lived to tell the story because he dropped her off at the hospital. I guess he figured
Yeah.
like, this isn't right. Maybe something clicked in his head, like this isn't right. But there was another young lady. She unfortunately did not meet the same fate as this one. She was in Minneapolis, and her ex-boyfriend actually shot her outside their family home, and she died. She succumbed to her injuries, and she had previously reported him assaulting her, and there was an order of protection out against him that he violated the day, of course, he shot her. So it's like, even if you report it, these people are just like, whatever, I'm just gonna do. It's almost like if I can't have you, no one will, right? No one can. And it's like, sir, ma'am, what are you doing? I don't think that it's that serious, like for you to potentially lose your freedom or your life to have someone stay with you, like to keep
Agreed.
someone bound to you. It's weird to me.
I remember I said to you earlier, I feel that they don't do anything until these women are injured or gone. And I think that they need to, implement a different strategy because something has to be done. This has been happening for many, many, many years now. A lot of women have have dealt with being battered in relationships, making filing these complaints, having order protection. Order protection is a piece of paper.
Yeah.
So, in order for this order protection to be upheld, the person has to be able to get to a phone, to be able to make that call, and for these cops to actually get this person. Because let's say he's there and he's doing what he's doing, he ends up leaving there. He's not there when they arrive. Okay, now it's like a whole different story, and now it's like everything goes right back to the first stage. There got to be better situations, better things put in place. It has to be a better strategy because yes, I understand that the cops got to be able to do their job, but there's another way. Like that movie Enough. Remember that movie Enough with J Lo? Prime example. She was being abused by her husband, and it took an ex cop to show her how to defend herself properly, and she gave him what was they called? Warning shots. Three
Yeah.
warning shots. Or was it the three shots? The two warning and the last one was an actual bullet that killed him.
Yeah, because he charged at her.
Charged at her. Yeah.
Because he was that egotistical that he didn't think that she would shoot him.
Yeah.
But I don't think that did she shoot him or did
No, she shot
no?
him.
I thought she kicked him off the balcony and he fell on the table.
No, no, no. She shot
Oh,
him. She
oh,
had
okay.
it was he told her. Remember, the person who helped her, he directed her to the person. They said three shots, two warning shots. That's showing that you're giving that person a warning. You're letting them know, hey, back up.
Mm-hmm.
She gave those two warnings, and when he realized it wasn't an actual bullet, that's when he went charging at her, and that's when she shot him that third time, and she killed him.
Mm-hmm. So sad, you know.
Because if it wasn't that, she would have been the one laying on that floor, not him.
Yeah, and I remember at the end of that, not well, towards the end when that whole ordeal happened in the movie, the cop said, "You're one of the lucky ones,"
Yes.
and I was like clutching my imaginary pearls, like, "Whoa," because it happens so frequently,
Yeah.
that and the laws, the protections that are in place, I think just aren't enough. Fortunately, this young lady actually that we were talking about before, she got shot to 10 times and she was able to survive, and she had a young son and everything like that. These people just don't care about human life. If you doing that, you're taking your intent is to take a life from someone else. No matter if they have children of their own or a family of their own. It's just I don't know what gets into people when they make these types of decisions. But the other young lady that was in Minneapolis, she wasn't as fortunate as this one here to have kept her life, and it's just,
It's
but
sad.
yeah. And I think, and enough, she was like, she found him cheating, and she was just like, listen, I want to get up out of here. I think that's what the premise was, right? She was like, I just want to leave. Like, you're cheating, you're doing this, and then at that, and then when they had that argument, that's when he first hit her
Mhm.
because she found out that he was cheating on her, right?
Mhm.
And it's like, okay, damn, like let her go. You don't want her, but some people are like that. Some men just want that person there
Yeah.
as while they do their dirt.
They
Kind of
want their
sucks
cake
though.
and eat it too.
I mean, I want my cake and eat it too, but because what am I supposed to do with the cake? I'm supposed to just leave it there? I want my cake. I want to eat it too. But what I don't, I know that, that's a figure of speech, right? But it's like,
Mhm.
he wanted the cake, he wanted the pie, he wanted everything all at once. It was like
They
he
want
wanted
the
all,
table,
he
silverware,
wanted sweet potato pie, he wanted butter cake with chocolate frosting, he wanted a red velvet, he wanted all at once,
everything.
and that's not how marriage works.
Right.
But oh gosh, so our thoughts at the end of this is, of course, no is a complete sentence. Please respect others' boundaries, respect their wishes when they choose not to do something or if they choose not to engage with you.
Mhm.
Expect it, respect the boundaries, right, Nicole?
Absolutely. It's
So
all about the boundaries and respect. That's it.
yeah, that's all it's about. And that's all that it looks like these women and some men wanted. Like, I know that college student didn't expect for this woman to, storm his building. And the crazy part is, if something were to happen, it would have been the university's fault because who let the baby in? Who let the girl in?
And that's another thing
Right?
because she said that she was a student, so that's what I think the person who runs the dorms was like. She needed the information because she needed to make sure that she was an actual student. She needed to make
Mm-hmm.
sure, and they had to get three different statements from the people that were there. But I was just sad because she looked like us, and I'm like, heartbreak is a heartbreak. Okay, it doesn't matter. I understand that clearly she was hurting. I don't think they should have arrested her. I think they should have just took her to the hospital, get her checked out, calm her down, get her to understand that what took place was not the right thing to do. Because she wasn't. It don't look like because they asked, do you have anything on you that can hurt me? Like if they go in her pockets or whatever. She said no, whatever the case may be. I do think that she was very disrespectful, and we tell our kids all the time how to act in certain situations, right?
Mm.
As a mom, I'm looking at this video and I'm like, why would you
Listen,
put yourself in that situation?
she was resisting arrest. She's supposed to get arrested.
Well, she didn't
Period. Point blank.
she didn't resist arrest, so that's what the cop was saying. He said she didn't resist arrest, but she also wasn't cooperating as well. So it was like the cop was like, because she didn't like how she was doing it. She was it was all verbal. She was screaming. She was saying things. She didn't like pull her arm. She didn't do anything like that. She wasn't trying to stop them, but she was trying to stop them by saying whatever it is that she was saying. So she got arrested. I don't know if it's stuck, because after seeing
Yeah.
the video, you could tell she's hurting because she was on the ground, like breathing really heavy. So you can tell she was hurting. Whatever the situation was, the reason why he broke up, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
We all
It's a
deal with
lesson
heartbreak
though.
in different ways. So this could be her first heartbreak. We don't know, you know. So
I mean, like, I get it. I get it. You get upset, you kick and scream and stuff like that. But we got to know that. I personally don't know what would have happened if he would open the door. Well, she have
That's my
jumped
thing.
on him, started fighting him and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know.
That's my thing right there.
She seems
That
like
part.
she's a little bit emotionally disturbed. So I'm going to
Right.
assume that she would have started to jump on him and fight him and stuff like that. And then had he retaliated and hit her or pushed her, then
Would
it'd
have
be
been on
like, oh
him.
my God, he hit me. So I'm just happy
Yes.
that it happened the way it did. And I'm
Yes.
hoping that she learned a very important life lesson. Okay. You're going to get your
Girl.
heart broken, but walk away. It's okay to walk away and start anew. He's not the only person out here that you're going to be dating. You know what I'm saying? So there's other fish in the sea. Keep going and let it be what it's gonna be. Walk away with your dignity, because now your face is plastered all over the news, and and you looking crazy. So
She
yeah,
was looking kind of crazy, but at the same time, as a mom, I was so hurt for her because I'm like her mom just didn't have this discussion with her.
yeah,
You know what I
I
mean?
mean,
Like you didn't like help her out. Like there gonna be some boys that gonna come and hurt your heart, break your heart, but you're gonna have to learn how to get through this. You're gonna have to process it, however it is. Like she wasn't
it's
ready.
sad.
She
It's
wasn't
sad.
ready.
She wasn't ready. Heart people handle heartbreak. Even adults, like we see right now. We were just talking about those two men. They handle heartbreak differently, handle rejection differently. But we're hoping that people are emotionally mature enough to handle that. Like what?
Right.
Uh, oh
We talk about
gosh,
that
that's
all
so
the
sad.
time. Listen,
Yeah, yeah,
deal with your emotions, yes, but
yeah.
I wish you all the best. You know what I mean? That's it. That's all you gotta do. You don't need clarification. You don't need to understand why this took place. God probably said, you know what? You learn what you learned with this person. Now I need him to move out the way so the right person can come. So that next person can come and, to be able to ride off into the sunset.
We
Maybe.
talk about it. We talk about it, right?
Yeah,
Like
all
we
the
say,
time.
you know what? Sometimes that rejection is God's protection. You don't know
Yeah.
what that would have ended up, how it would have ended up. You don't know what it was. So, you know, sometimes logic goes out the window, and then you
For sure.
know, people aren't thinking clearly, and these things happen. But we'll see what happens. Going forward. But child. I'm the queen of like, all right, no problem.
Right.
You
Listen,
know, like, okay,
you deal with your
okay,
emotions, but you ain't gotta sit there and act like that. Okay? There's no reason. It's called self-control.
yeah,
You have to have
um,
self-control. And it's not saying you can't cry. It's not saying you can't, do that in your home though. All that screaming and whatever that you choose to do, because everyone grieves differently because it is
yeah.
grieving.
Mm-hmm.
You grieve in that relationship. So listen.
And
Go in
it's
your
like, okay,
room, put your face in your
I'm hurt,
pillow.
I'm hurt, but this too shall pass.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna need my people them to help me
Yeah.
through this, but this too shall pass.
That's
And
it.
then when you get over that hurdle, you're like, damn, what the hell? When you look back, you're like,
And
what
you
was even
will
all of
look
that?
back.
It
You
wasn't even
will
all
look
of
back
that.
and be like, really
Yeah, you
though?
like you think about it, like he didn't do nothing for me. He wasn't this, he wasn't that. It's like, wait a minute. What was I thinking about here? When logic actually
Mm-hmm.
comes into focus, when everything comes into focus, you're like, wait, all right, I didn't really. What did I lose? Nothing. You
Yeah.
know.
That's when your emotions, calm down and you're actually thinking. Like Shaquana said, when logic hits the forefront, it's like, man, all right, it was good while it lasted. I appreciate you. Deuces.
Yeah, I've been learning to do that 80/20 thing, right? I write it down like, okay, or what was good?
I've been
This
doing
was
that
good, this was
forever.
good. How many no's do I have? And if all my no's are like, if I have more no's than yeses, I'm like, okay, I really didn't lose anything. You
Right.
know? I'm like, all right. I'm good on you.
Like this.
Yeah. So
The church finger. Excuse me. Go on.
yeah, yeah. I'm like, yo, I was bugging. I'm tripping right now. What's wrong with me?
It
Straighten
happens.
up. Look, straighten up and fly right, girl.
Yeah.
What you
Oh,
doing? Adjust that crown. Adjust that crown and keep it
yeah.
pushing.
Listen, it
You know?
happens. But
It's
it's
gonna
all
happen.
about life lessons and you learning. You have to be willing and able to learn from your own mistakes in order to prevail anywhere else. You know what I mean? It just is what it is.
That's right. That's right. And hopefully you learn from it and it does and it doesn't happen again. I think more so it's a lot of these relationships that we actually fight for. It boils down to, and we've talked about this before, it boils down to understanding how much you love yourself and the respect that you have for yourself. Self-love is important.
Mm-hmm.
Because then there's certain things that you won't tolerate in relationships when you do love yourself and love yourself to the max. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
And
yeah.
stop for the same okie doke. Stop reliving the same cycles. Like it's the same cycle. It
Yeah.
looks the same. It's identical. The only thing that changes is the person. Like just pay attention. When you see it, bounce.
Yep. Yep. That's just what you have to do, man. That's what I have
Yeah.
to do. So all right. Well, that was another great show. Thank you all so much for tuning in to Real Conversation. Again, I am your host, Quana Terry.
And I am Nicole Jones.
And you can find us every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube at real underscore convos underscore podcast. And you can find us on Facebook as well. Nicole, where can they find us on Facebook?
At Real Conversations 2021.
All right. So we thank you all for watching and God bless.